still water. He restoreth my soul, and he leadeth me in the paths of righteousness sake, for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Though he prepareth a table before me in the presence of my enemies, thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like
he wants me to
Smile,
think about
you're
it
on
when he
camera.
never sees me.
Smile, you're on camera.
On the TV.
Yeah. on the
Okay, you
TV.
smile, sis.
Oh, Lordy, that's terrible. I'm so fat. My face is
That
so
long,
fat.
Leo.
He was really good looking on TV.
I mean, boys, look at it, Dad.
I know it.
I'm telling you.
Watch ya.
He's already
Let's
been a
have a
star.
close-up. Let's have a close-up of
There
it.
you
Look
are.
me there.
I just listen
Grandpa.
at you and take on about how
How
smart I
how
was.
nice
I
you
mean,
look.
looky there. Ain't
Yeah.
that a good daddy? Ain't that a good daddy? Oh,
Why'd
what
you
you
do
have to do that for? I was fixing to say, don't I look like him? But I ain't gonna say it now.
Let's eat teeth out and all.
Hey, good shot. There you go.
Take my
Well,
back.
Hold on. You get to that one? We'll get it when we get out.
Hello.
Be careful, Chad.
Stand ready. Hey, put this in the bucket. I need a look with some apples. Oh.
Okay. Don't fall now. Now be careful coming down. Hold on. Now pick them up off the ground.
Hey. Oh well. You get in here. Get in there. Hey. Peppa.
It won't hurt them if you-
Logan.
as long as you don't throw them.
Okay. Right here. I got some red ones. Right there, because I see lots of red ones.
Some of those the birds have been eating on. I need to move the ladder.
Get that one. Okay. I need to move it that way.
Okay. You give them.
See one crooked red one. See that red one right there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get that. That's it. And I see some over here. Whoa, this is a pizza. Much when
You're trying to hook me into it.
Ooh, you can put one there and there. Okay. Oh, bummer. I didn't even see. I did. I got it both ways. Where did you go?
I help. I use V8 myself. That way I walk straight every day. Boy, don't take you long to get all that's in one of them, okay?
It was in a hurry, huh?
I mean, that thing ready to go.
He's still trying.
But there's one thing about it, you gotta turn your head up like a chicken to drink that stuff. Because when that gets about that low in the can,
Watch the ball, Cassie, watch the ball. Yeah. Probably down there on deck.
So I'll cherish thee
keys, mammy.
Kinda missed it there.
Sounds good, Roscoe. How long have you been taking lessons?
Like this to kids to say, how long have you been farming? Pictures, have you seen them? The little kids.
To follow the little lightning.
Well, when he gets it though, he pounces on it.
Oh, you really get you. Oh, that's all. Get up front side.
Well, that's good, Tyler.
Very
Very good.
There's someone who gets to see this video later on. I want to thank Don for his gift. It was a pleasure to have that come in before Christmas. We really have enjoyed it. And I want to share with Vernon and Roscoe and Sis and Betty after dinner here on your gift to us. Thanks, Don. They're always guarding us against the wiles of Satan, Roscoe said. But those ice cream suppers proved that they weren't as smart as they thought they were. Roscoe described last spring as being extra wet and said that some harvest time everyone had really good crops. And in his most cynical voice, Roscoe said, it was exactly that sort of season when you would expect people to get lax and forget about Jesus. He said the people around Oak Grove started having get-togethers, not centered around having church, and it was their downfall. Someone feeling festive because the crops were coming in so good suggested that everyone bring their ice cream freezers and ingredients down to the camp meeting grounds. Let's all make ice cream together, he said. So once a week, at the first
Imagination.
on a non-church night, the people all began to meet to make ice cream.
On church night.
No, not on
Yeah.
off church
Oh,
night.
off the church night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right off, you had the makings of something evil, Roscoe said. The potential for Satan to come in amongst the people. He was grinning real big when he looked quickly over to Jim. Jim just kept looking straight ahead.
All the way.
When Roscoe saw that Jim wasn't going to react, he looked over at me and said, anybody knows that there are a lot of things that can go on at an ice cream supper besides just making ice cream and eating it. He said you could just count on gossip coming out of the get-togethers, and you could just bet that there would be competition. The women would compete over who would make the best batch of ice cream, and the men would compete over nearly anything, like who could crush the ice in the best by swinging the broadside of an axe against a chunk of ice held in a gunny sack, or who could crank the freezer the best, or who could get the right mixture of ice and salt, or who would get the worst headache. Roscoe had it figured out all the way and down to the kids. He said they compete over who gets to lick the paddle or who gets to sit on the freezer while the men crank it over. We had to stop at the train tracks and wait for a slow-moving Kansas City Southern freight train to pass before we could go on to Stillwell. Roscoe was really wound up by this time.
he always is.
He was using
Yeah.
he was using double innuendos, like me and Jim didn't have any more sense than the day we was born. He said, real easy for people to just get too friendly at an ice cream shop.
Oh, no.
You know, he said a man bragging on how sweet some woman's cherry vanilla was, or a woman complimenting how hard a man was able to get his batch of ice cream could have all kinds of different meanings. Jim wasn't buying any of Roscoe's story, but he knew he couldn't stop him. Shoot, when it's dark, people can bump into each other, Roscoe continued.
There's a villain in this story, Roscoe.
They make it look like an accident. Put it in.
Where'd he leave Pete Chambers at?
Looking over at Jim, Roscoe said, Jim, you know it's so. And after a brief pause, he said, that's exactly the sort of thing the devil's just waiting for. Jim said, Roscoe, you're full of prudes. Why don't you just go get what Paul sent you after and hush up? Just go get it.
That's what Jim told me.
Yeah. Roscoe was unruffled as he put the truck in low gear and pulled across the tracks. He turned south on Highway 59 to continue on to the feed store. You know, there was hardly no praying or singing or anything at those ice cream suppers, Roscoe. Anybody knows that an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and you got a whole lot of idle minds. Average ice cream supper.
He sure would have. Yeah, boy.
Mercifully for Jim, the pickup came to a stop in front of Wheeler's feed store, and Jim quickly said, me and Don will be back in a minute. We're going over to the store. With that announcement, we left Roscoe and walked down the street and around the corner to the grocery store. Jim had enough money to buy me a Great Bet, him and RC Cola. And we walked back to outside the store and we sat down on a wooden bench. Jim said, Don, I don't know what makes Roscoe the way he is. I could tell that somehow Jim felt responsible for his older brother's behavior. I said, Jim, it don't mean nothing to me. Shoot, I kind of like to hear him talk.
This is the Heiser family. Bill Heiser, Rodina, Chad in the background, and Cass in the front. Oh, and there's Jim Williams.
What's he doing in this family?
He's from another family. Yeah.
A big squash.
Cassie, get up, Chad.
Yeah.
Chad's in junior high. Cassie is in the 4th grade. Rodina's in the
Don't say.
2nd grade.
Rodina's 41 years old.
Hey, what?
But it's almost 8 o'clock, and I don't got the time, because we work real hard at the chocolate factory. Stop at 8, and we don't finish the 3. I have to drive a truck to make a buck, so I can send it home to our families. Well, now you are in trouble. Your time card is a wreck. It's almost too past 8. I'll remember that you're late, and I'll take it from your check. Yes, Mr. Lund. Oh, yes, we work real hard at the chocolate factory. Excuse me, Mr. Lund, but I got an injury. Now get back on the line. You'll be just fine. With all this work, we have no time for sympathy. What's next? Up on a housetop, reindeer paws. Out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney, lots of toys. All for the little ones' Christmas joys.
You're on Ho Ho Ho.
Okay. Right, okay,
He
ready?
didn't come down to see.
Ho, 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 who would go? Ho, up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney, lots of toys, all for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who would it go? Ho, 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 who would it go? Up on the housetop, click, 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 down through the chimney, blitz, blitz, Saint Nick home. Okay. Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judah, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were so sore afraid. And the angel said